Yeah, Jim. One of the advantages that the DHS, Federal Network Resilience Division, has is that we actually interface with all 125 agencies within the executive branch, CFO Act as well as non-CFO Act. So when we're reaching out there and we're working with them in regards to the implementation of CDM, we do get a lot of great insights. We also hold a number of listening sessions specifically as to where we can continue to improve and prepare for the next phase implementation. So to your question, several things. From an acquisition perspective, the GSA FedSim has done a great job in regards to supporting the program. But as I indicated early on, the first phase of CDM, it literally took 3 years to move from the point of moving the BPA in place to meeting with the agencies, collecting requirements, going through the award stage, through the discovery stage, and now beginning the implementation stage. A lot of changes occurred there. But again, the purpose was we had to hit these 4 capabilities at one time across the entire government. So from an acquisition perspective, a lesson learned there is that as we're looking at the next phases, phase 3, phase 4, and whatever may come after that, how can we be more efficient in being able to provide acquisition tools that we can move forward these new phases in a quicker fashion to the agencies that are prepared and ready for those capabilities. And preparedness and readiness also includes the ability and the skill sets to have in place in the agencies. So we are looking at that specifically in the future phases. Second area is communications. On the communication side, a big lesson learned there since with the CFO Act agencies that are very federated is how can we be able to support the departments in making sure that there's consistent messaging as to be it the status of the program as well as the impact of the program at all layers across the CIO and CISO shop, across various components, but also up to the executive layer, to the deputy secretary, to the mission owner executives who basically are going to be impacted positively because of CDM, but also as we look at future phases where they will be impacted in regards to privilege access and things of that nature or data security components. Communication makes sure of awareness as well as impact. Mm-hmm. Thirdly is also executive support. One lesson learned is when we're rolling this out initially, working with the CIOs and with the CISOs in regards to what the requirements are. They're obviously very well attuned to their organization, their agency. But for a CIO in a number of agencies, and this is not true for all, but for a number of agencies, for the CIO to be able to have the impact that they need on the component agencies that may have their own CIOs and such, in a number of cases, having the deputy secretary or the executive be able to provide that additional authority, be able to provide that additional emphasis as to the importance of the CDM program was critical. Right. The last thing is also, as we take a look at the CDM program and the BPA itself and each of the phases has sets of tools to support those various capabilities. When a contract is awarded, the contract's awarded for that solution that basically the contractor had put forward, the vendors put forward. In the BPA, there's always opportunity to be able to provide new tools to the BPA. Now, when a contract's awarded, it is incorporated in a number of tool sets from that BPA. But remember, the BPA is open to all government agencies and can be leveraged at any point. So an agency that is currently receiving tools and sensors and such from the CDM program, they also have their own budget that they also can take a look at what else they can bring into their environment. Agencies outside the executive branch, be it the legislative, judicial, DOD, Intel, state, local, tribal, they all have access to that BPA as well and the full suite of tools. So we do have the capability of being able to bring new tool sets through the BPA awardees to to that system.
For new technologies to get
Absolutely,
onto the BPA?
absolutely. And we're actually inviting that conversation as you probably are aware.
And how would industry engage in that conversation?
Yeah, a number of ways. Basically, in regards, first of all, for those tools and capabilities to be added to the BPA, it needs to come through one of the vendors that's currently awarded. So it's a partnership there.
Okay.
The FedSim, GSA FedSim team has a whole process to bring them in and actually encourages that conversation. I mean, DHS has also recently opened up a Silicon Valley office to open conversations with vendors out in that area. I know when I go to various meetings and conferences, I carry a set of cards with me for our vendor engagement group, whereby we provide these cards and basically for the vendors to be able to have an opportunity to speak to the various divisions within DHS.
Good.
So there's a mechanism for that, and I emphasize that because sometimes people aren't aware that that is a growing area.
I agree.